my name is Daniel Pino. I'm doing a presentation for the psychology seminar, and I'm going to be doing about happiness in society in general. So one of the first things I wanted to talk about that we learned in this course definitely has to do with expectations. So the reason I want to talk about this is because expectations are basically like this imaginative reality that really isn't reality. So what I mean by that is like, for example, when we get into relationships, when we get into a job, when we get into the dream school and everything, a lot of things that we think is going to happen or we expect to happen because like society tells us is going to happen doesn't really happen. So for example, you could be like, you can be in your dream school. For example, let's say FIU was your dream school, but it really isn't coming out to the way you thought it was going to be. For example, like Miami's way too hot compared to where you're really from, or something like that. That could become an issue, and that could actually like distort your actual expectation. Therefore, it doesn't meet your reality. Therefore, you become more unhappy, or you just become sadder in general. One of the other things that we want to talk about is just like the socialization of women and minorities that we talked about also in the module. And the reason I want to talk about this is because their expectations also get kind of hindered as they grow up as well. So for example, girls from a young age are socialized. Like we have toys, for example, in my current job, and these toys just teach these little girls to be moms, like from such a young age, and that they're going to be caring and nurturing. You see all these jobs that they're like pushed to get. It's, for example, like become a nurse and to become a teacher, and all these like nurturing jobs in general, rather than like these fierce ones like guys get. And one of the problems with that is that they're expected to want children. They're expected to like need children, that to be complete, to be a real woman in general, they need to have children in general. But that's not really the case whatsoever. It's like in one of the articles, no, sorry, in one of the videos that they talked about, in one of the TED Talks, the woman mentioned that children are emotionally worthless, but economically worthless, but emotionally priceless. That was the phrase. And the reason I bring that up is because at some point, they really take a toll. Like children in general just take a toll on both women. They take a toll on the family. They take a toll on the relationship. They take a toll on the household, and lots of different things. And the reason they do it is it's not because they purposely do it. It's not these kids are like evil and they're trying to do all these bad acts. It's the fact that they're just so much money. There's so much time. There's so much stress. There's so much these other factors as well. And children are great. Like I work with children in general, and like they're awesome. They're really cute. They're fun to have and everything, but they can really take a toll in a relationship. It's like the last article we read in the last module we had before this one. One of the things that we talked about was that that they showed a couple case studies, and the case studies showed like different kinds of relationships. So for example, it showed different relationships that had families with, I think it was like with 4 children, and how the couples have gone like downhill since then because like the children are just so much money now. In the video itself, it also talks about how not everyone should or just want a children, and like couples at such a late age in general, they're being pushed and being told things like, oh, you're gonna end up lonely when you're older, oh, you're gonna regret this when you're older as well, oh, you're just not going to be happy in general because you don't have kids. And that socialization that we just need kids to like reproduce isn't the right one. It's not going to make us happy. And in fact, these same children, by raising them certain ways that we do in America, it also brings like more unhappiness in general. And it also has to do with expectations. So what I mean by that is by when you tell your kids like, hey, you're so unique, you can become president and you can do all these great things that you promise your kids you can do, but can you really do them? Or is that realistic? Out of like the 1 in a million chance that you can actually do this, can that child really become president? And when the child actually doesn't become president, if they don't, that's an issue, because then they become unhappy. Their expectation is up here, reality is down here. So that's one of the issues in general. Aside from that, their expectations just aren't met. So there's like the imaginative gap, which is basically your imagination doesn't meet your reality. There was also some other gaps as well, but basically it just doesn't meet the truth. So that's like one of the issues that we see as well. And the other topic I also wanted to talk about in the module is like forced relationships. And the reason I don't want to talk about that is because forced relationships kind of come with children and expectations and all this other stuff. And a lot of people just kind of end up staying in relationships in general because they think that they need to, or because they think that they're doing the right thing for the child and everything, when in reality they're not. And the biggest issue with this as well is that it doesn't end up becoming the best thing for the child. Like in general, children and women and men, everyone needs to become happy within themselves. They need to start becoming happy with the relationships around them rather than the material things in them in general. 5 minutes?